Everything in existence seems incredibly complex. Life, consciousness, society, nature, physics. It all looks like a chaotic mosaic of unrelated systems. But what if underneath all this complexity, there are only three fundamental forces at work? Tension, rigidity, flow. These three forces aren't philosophical ideas. They show up everywhere, in physics, biology, psychology, relationships, and even in collective behavior. Let's break them down. Tension is the source of movement. It is the pull that creates potential. Every emotion begins with tension. Every decision begins with tension. Even the birth of a star begins when gravitational tension gathers matter. Tension is the spark that makes something want to happen. Rigidity is the structure that forms around tension. It is the pattern that becomes stable. Atoms become rigid enough to create matter. Habits become rigid enough to create personality. Beliefs become rigid enough to create worldviews. Societies become rigid enough to create institutions. Rigidity is not good or bad. It simply freezes a moment so that flow can operate through it. Flow is the movement that connects everything. It carries energy, emotion, information, life, and change. Flow is how ecosystems stay alive, how economies evolve, how consciousness expands, and how your inner world reorganizes itself after every experience. These three forces don't compete. They shape each other. Tension creates the need. Rigidity creates the form. Flow creates the movement. Every system you know is built from this triad. A human being is tension, rigidity, and flow. A relationship is tension, rigidity, and flow. A political system is tension, rigidity, and flow. Even your thoughts follow this pattern. A thought begins as tension, an impulse, a spark, a curiosity. It becomes rigidity when the mind forms a belief around it, and it becomes flow when the belief shapes your behavior over time. If you understand these three forces, you can understand why things break, why things heal, why things stagnate, and why things transform. A system collapses when rigidity becomes too strong. A person suffers when tension has no release. A society becomes chaotic when flow has no structure. Nature loses balance when flow is blocked. But when all three forces are in harmony, you see life at its most powerful, creative, adaptive, resilient, and alive. This is why the flow model becomes so universal. It gives you a way to read reality like a living language. Instead of asking, why does this happen? You start asking, how are tension, rigidity, and flow interacting here? Suddenly, everything becomes understandable. And more importantly, everything becomes workable. When you know where tension is, you know where